Hello everyone and welcome to one more presentation on the new expression of interest system introduced by Alberta. I have prepared two videos on this topic already. In the first video, I covered the basics of this particular system, and in the next video, I covered a step-by-step process of explaining how to fill up this expression of interest. In this particular video, I'm trying to introduce or explain some of the nuances of this particular system, which other people might have ignored and which might be really critical for your application. So if you are somebody who is interested in doing this expression of interest for the Alberta PNP, I am sure you will get some good understanding of the system after watching this video. So do watch this video till the very end. So let's start with the very basics. Now, after this introduction of the new expression of interest, all Alberta Advantage Immigration Program streams will need an expression of interest. You can only apply via an invitation which will be issued based on your expression of interest. This is applicable for all of the streams, so there is no exception, and that is the reason I am covering this in quite some detail. So right now this is the only way to get the only way to apply for PNP is via an invitation, and only to get an invitation is via a expression of interest. Right now, the point system introduced for the expression of interest doesn't have any minimum score. Few people were asking me how much is the minimum score to be able to apply for expression of interest. Right now, there is no minimum score, but there is a maximum score of 100 which is possible. If you want, you can go through my first video on this particular topic where I explained this point system also in quite some detail. You can only apply or you can only create one expression of interest. If you have any other expression of interest pending, or if you have any kind of PNP application pending, or even a draft application in your Aaip account, you will have to withdraw or cancel that application or expression of interest before you can create another expression of interest. This is very critical for us to understand. If you have created your expression of interest, and if you are not getting a response, or if you want to make any changes, or if you want to withdraw and create another expression of interest, you will have to withdraw. You cannot have multiple expression of interest under this particular new system. You should create your expression of interest only after doing a proper self-assessment of the eligibility, and you should make sure that you are eligible for at least one of the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program streams. Please do not create an application if you are not sure or if you know that you are not eligible. This is a self-declaration system where you create your expression of interest in the system by providing some basic information. It hardly takes any time to create the application itself. You are you are you are right now providing no documentation. You are paying no fees. It's just a online expression of interest. But even then, I would say spend some time and assess your eligibility. This will relieve you from the anxiety and will also not burden the system. If you want to understand the eligibility of different streams, I have a lot of videos on eligibility of different streams which you can go and have a look. In one of the documents or in one of the portals, if you look into the Aaip expression of interest landing page, you would see that Aaip is expressly discouraging people not to withdraw if they have an active application, and there is a very good reason for that. If you have an active application under one of the streams, you are actually 2 or 3 steps ahead of other people who would be creating this expression of interest. Expression of interest is the first step. Next step is the invitation to apply. Third step is the application. So if you're already in the application stage, coming back to step number 1 doesn't make much sense. So please, if you are already pending application, I would suggest, and also the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program is suggesting, to have patience and continue to wait for a decision on your application. The main reason for this kind of recommendation is that there is no guarantee that your expression of interest will be actioned upon. Right now, it's only an expression of interest, and for Alberta, there is no application or a no um, commitment, or no, it's not binding on Alberta Advantage Immigration Program to take decision on each and every expression of interest. Your expression of interest goes into a pool of applications, and then depending on various factors, it would be considered for invitation. I will cover the this particular point in details after a while now, but right now do understand this: expression of interest is not an application, and there is no guarantee your expression of interest will be actioned upon. There is no guarantee that invitation will be provided to you depending on your expression of interest, or if you have expressed interest into one particular stream, that you would be given a preference or you would be given invitation for that particular stream. Alberta, along with your basic information, collects a lot of other information about your profile, and if it thinks that your profile or your experience or your NOC or your profile suits a different stream, they can also send you a invitation to apply under a totally different stream, which could be different than your preferred stream. So right now, this is these are some of the nuances that you should be aware of. Okay, so if we continue the discussion, expression of interest will result in an invitation, and this decision would be taken based on various different factors. Score is one of the factors. Right now, you can score between 0 and 100, the labor market conditions, and the available limit and volume. So, say for example, right now, if you see this particular photo, you would see that we have a certain number of invitations left for 2024. Now, say between now and October, end of October, if if Alberta receives 10,000 expression of interest, it can only issue invitations to a limited number of people because the number of invitations left is limited. So that has to be considered when you are creating an expression of interest. Not all expression of interest will result in a invitation, and that is what was covered in one of my earlier points, that not all expression of interest will be actioned upon, and even if it is actioned upon, it may or may not result in the invitation to the sector or the stream that you have applied for. So be very aware of this fact. Expression of interest in the pool at any point of time may be cancelled, and this may be done to accommodate for any kind of technological changes or system changes or scoring changes. Like for example, right now Alberta has a scoring system between 0 and 100, and that is how each expression of interest are evaluated. Now tomorrow, if for any reason to improve the system, if the point system is changed or this expression of interest system itself is abandoned, so the all expression of interest in the pool would be cancelled. Understand that this is not a paid application, and this is not an application at all. This is just an expression of interest that people are expressing for migrating to Canada via the Alberta PNP. It's only an expression of interest. As part of expression of interest, you would have seen in my second video or the last video that I have created that they collect a lot of information about your IRCC profile, your NOS, NOC, and your NAICS. These are different information which are not scored in this particular scoring system, but still they are captured, and these might be considered at the time of issuing invitation. So for example, if your IRCC express entry score is higher, you might get a preference, but right now you are not scored based on that. Okay, so these information are captured but not evaluated for the scoring system. Understand that the expression of interest is not first come first serve. You will create an expression of interest, and then based on your score or based on the labor market condition and so many other factors, the invitations would be issued or not issued. And last but not the least, please do not make any kind of incorrect or fraudulent claims in your expression of interest. It goes without saying, doing any such thing might result, doing anything like that will result in cancellation of your application, and even worse, you might be banned from making any other application to the AIP in future. So make sure whatever applications or whatever declarations you are making is correct and accurate. So this is the summary. This is the slide that you are seeing at the end is the summary of all the discussions and all the nuances that I was able to gather during my reading and research on this particular topic. If you have any more questions, reach out to me and I will be more than happy to try and answer those questions. I will keep making videos on this particular topic and I hope you guys are getting some value out of it. So thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.